Hi, I'm Kim Wiley, and this is Getting Bolder. I recently found a way to fly business class to Europe and cut the price in half. I'm very proud of myself for this. Let me set the stage for you. In September of this year, my son Jordan is getting married to a terrific girl, and they're getting married in Scotland, right outside of Edinburgh. This is a major family event. We're all flying over for it, along with a kind of a select group of friends. We're taking over a manor house for a week, and we are going to indulge in every Scottish cliche you can imagine. We're doing Highland games where we take like sheep's testicles and throw them over the hedge, and we're heaving logs, and we're painting our faces blue and running across the fields screaming freedom, and we are going to have a Scotch tasting, and we're going to have haggis, and we're having bagpipes, and all the guys are wearing kilts, and there is no Scottish stone that we are going to leave unturned. Everybody's super excited. Nobody any more so than my granddaughters, who are going to be the flower girls. They're wearing these halos of heather. It is going to be great. So it's obviously a major event in my family. Super exciting. Girls' first trip to Europe. I didn't think Jordan would ever get married, and he's found the perfect person. This is going to be a happy day. And I want to land in Europe perky. I want to start this trip on the right foot, because right after Jordan is getting married, 2 days later, I'm turning 70. And I'm going to do it in Edinburgh. And a group of my friends from my dance community are actually flying over. We're going to have a big meal with my daughter and son-in-law, grandchildren, 5 of my really good friends from the States, my cousin and her husband, and we're having my 70th birthday celebration at a brew pub in Scotland. And then we're going to take a week and travel around the country. So I can't even describe to you what a big deal this is, and how important it is to me that I not land in Edinburgh just out of sorts and the way I usually, when I fly, especially if I fly overnight and I try to sleep on a plane, I land looking like death eating on a cracker. That's what my grandmother used to say. She looks like death eating on a cracker, which I always thought was funny till I caught a glimpse of myself in the bathroom mirror at the Frankfurt airport. And I'm like, whoa, death eating on a cracker. But not this time. So I got it in my head I was going to fly business class. I looked it up, $4,000 from Charlotte, North Carolina to Edinburgh, Scotland. Well, you've got 2 ways to go, first of all. You can either go through Philadelphia, change your planes there, and then fly direct to Edinburgh. Or you can fly from Charlotte direct to London and then do the hop over to Edinburgh. I researched them all. Average price for business class was $4,000. Now that, my friends, was a big yikes. I won't say that this wedding has already been expensive, but I'm going to be selling plasma soon. So anyway, I couldn't really in my head justify $4,000 just for the chance to lie down in a seat. But I kept saying, I want to be perky when I get there. I looked up economy. It was $1,000, but I'm reasonable, very reasonable, but I knew that would be rough on me coming and going. And then I looked up something called Main Plus or Economy Plus on some airlines, and it averaged about $1,600 to $1,800 depending on the circumstances. Now here's what you get for Economy Plus. You get a slightly wider seat, slightly wider in the sense of 3 inches. Now, I'm not here to disparage the difference even that can make. When I flew to Korea, and I was much younger than I am now, I would have joyfully cut off my right arm for 3 extra inches in the seat. So 3 inches makes a big difference, and you can check a bag, and there's all these kind of minor upgrades. But I thought, wow, is it worth $600 to $800 to have such a minor upgrade? I'm still sitting upright in a seat. I just wasn't sure what I was going to do. And then I started looking at all these videos online about Economy Plus or Main Plus, and a lot of them concluded that it just wasn't worth it. You didn't get your money's worth. So while I'm poking around, trying to find a slightly cheaper business class, or trying to talk myself into economy, or trying to decide what I was going to do, I don't even know why I did it, but I put in the flight. I searched on a flight that was one way to Europe, Charlotte to London. And lo and behold, it came up as $1,400. for a one-way flight from Charlotte to London. And I thought, okay, now math was never my best subject, but I was pretty good at it. If it's $1,400 to get to London, shouldn't you be able to get home from London for $1,400? Wouldn't the price of the ticket be $2,800? Where did they come up with this $4,000? I poked around, I looked at different airlines, I looked at different times, I looked at different days of the week, and I found a common denominator. It is much less expensive to fly from the United States to London business class than it is to fly from anywhere in Europe to the United States business class. They really gouge you on the trip back. Because when I put the return trip back, when I basically tried to hyphenate together two one-way trips, it jumped back into the $4,000 range. And I realized the flight from Europe to the United States was the expensive component. But the important flight to me was the flight to Europe. That's where I wanted to be happy and perky, was getting off the plane before all of this started. I wanted into the whole wedding festivities in a great state of mind. So I thought, what would happen if I flew business class to Europe and then flew home economy class? Because who cares about home? You're going to land in your own town. It doesn't matter if you look rough. It doesn't matter if you didn't get much sleep. First of all, it's not an overnight flight. It's just that one long day flight. And more importantly, I would go home and just go straight to bed in my own bed. I wouldn't be trying to hit the ground running. I would always have a reset day at the end of my trips. I do this thing where I lie to people about what day I'm getting back. Like if I'm getting back, I don't know why I'm whispering. I'm putting this on YouTube, so I don't know why I'm dropping my voice. But anyway, if I'm going to get back on Wednesday, I tell everybody I'm getting back on Thursday so that I've got that bumper day that I can unpack and do the laundry and get the groceries and pick up the dog from the Borders and just kind of get human again before people expect me to tell them about my great trip. So I always, I guess it's out of the bag now, but I always lie about the day I'm getting back. But the point is, I don't really care about the trip home. It can be rough and it's okay because I'm going home. It was the trip over I was concerned about. So I started thinking, okay, I can make this work. I can fly that first leg that matters when I'm flying overnight, business class, and then fly home, economy class. Guess what that cost me? You ready for this? Now remember, economy main was around 16, 17, as high as 1,800. I can do that for, business over, economy back for $1,950. By the time I added on the insurance, I was slightly over $2,000. And I'm like, sold. That's literally half the $4,000 I thought I was going to eat. And I still get to lie flat in the bed. Furthermore, on the way over. Furthermore, and this is a really huge added bonus, I'm going to be getting on the plane in Charlotte about 7 o'clock at night, landing early in the morning in London. Then I've got about 3 or 4 hours before I make the short hour and a half hop to Edinburgh. During those 3 hours in Heathrow Airport in London, I have use of the business class lounge, which means I can have a nice breakfast, I can take a shower, I can carry change of underwear and shirt and shower and change clothes after having had a flat bed on the way over. So even if it's not perfect sleep, it is at least sleep. And then I catch my hop from London to Edinburgh, and I arrive in Scotland fresh as the proverbial daisy. So my friends, that is my tip to you, especially to the Americans who are thinking about going to Europe. You can glam it up on the way over if you're willing to suck it up on the way back. And personally, I think that's a pretty good deal. So upgrade for the leg of the trip that means the most for you and fly down and dirty for the legs of the trip where it doesn't really matter, which for me is coming home. Now, if I had to come home and be at work at 7 o'clock the next morning, I might try and do it a different way. But for someone my age who can really recover from a trip on the tail end, it's a good way to do it. I can't wait to tell you guys all about this trip. I'm going to definitely be filming a lot of video there and talking about my experiences of being mother of the groom and my experiences exploring Scotland and my 70th birthday party. So stay tuned to the channel and you'll get all that information. And if you like this video, then go ahead and like this video. I understand I get paid for that. hey, I can get a little souvenir in Heathrow. Thanks, guys. Bye.